Hi, my name is Chell Miller. I'm the Communications Director at the New York State Coalition Against Sexual Assault. Thank you for joining us for the Crime Victim Legal Network Open House for NISCASA members. We'll take 45 minutes to learn about the Crime Victims Legal Network, the resources and content on the New York Crime Victims Legal Help website, and how the site can assist victims of crime and those who work with them. We're joined by Remla Parthasarathy, project leader and senior attorney of the Crime Victims Legal Network at the Empire Justice Center, as well as Jackie Segouin, program and marketing manager at the Crime Victim Legal Network and Empire Justice Center.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us here. We're so honored to be asked to do this, and it's so nice to see faces. I work here alone here in my home outside of Buffalo, New York, and my daughter's gone to college and there's no one here, and it's just so nice to be connected to everyone. I am Remla Parthasarathy. I'm the senior attorney. I'm a senior attorney at Empire Justice Center and the project leader of the Crime Victims Legal Network. So the Crime Victims Legal Network is a partnership with organizations that work together, came together to connect victims of crime with civil legal assistance, resources, and services through our online resource called New York Crime Victims Legal Help. We have been operating in, statewide since 2019. We're approaching our second year anniversary. And we wanted to really just talk to you about the website and how you or your clients could kind of use our website to connect to legal help. I could actually talk about the Crime Victims Legal Network for a very long time, because I'm so proud of what we're doing and what we're continuing to do and how we're going to grow the information on our site and the resources. It is not something that's static. It is something that we're constantly going back to service providers and asking for their input and their feedback. And we are, we're approaching our second year anniversary and we're looking forward to doing so much more on the site. Jackie's going to share her screen and she's going to pull up the website and show you some of the main features of it. But I want to start by letting you know, while Jackie's doing that, everything that we developed on the site came from talking to victims of crime and their service providers. So this wasn't something that was just one person's view. It actually changed quite a lot based on the feedback we got from service providers and victims of crime. So although it's only launched 2 years ago, we started the work on this project back in 2015. We did a comprehensive needs assessment that lasted 18 months, where we surveyed victims of crime, surveyed service providers, and asked them, if we did this online resource, would this be helpful to you? And what sort of information do you need that could be helpful to you? As you know, crime victims have a lot of needs that are outside the criminal justice system. Some never even contact the police. Some never even have their cases prosecuted, but they have civil legal consequences as a result from being a victim of crime. We wanted to give them resources and information about those specific needs. And I think I'm really proud that we were able to do as much as we are, and I'm looking forward to all the things that we're going to do. So I'm going to turn this over to Jackie, who will walk you through our website and show you the main features of it.
Hi, I am the Program and Marketing Manager for CVLN, and I guess we'll just get to it. So this is the main homepage of our website. And right here you see a taskbar, and this is pretty much the main avenues, main sections of our website, if you will. So this first button is a little house. That's just a button to take you back to the page that we're on currently. The first one is the legal help directory. So if we go into the directory, pretty much if you just choose a location, so let's just say we're in Broome County, choose a legal issue. Let's say we need help with child support. We click go. So the organizations come up within Broome County with the subject. All of the organizations that have tried this first are OBS funded or have an OBS funded attorney. And then if you click learn more, it brings up more information on the particular organization. So email, and then the map is also will take you to Google Maps and give directions. So if we go back to the full list, yeah, like I said, so the try this first are within our network. Again, our OVS funded, and then the ones that aren't will be listed afterwards. So I think that is the main thing for that. And then the next section is the Know Your Rights section. This is, I kind of think, the meat and potatoes of our website. And this section was developed to give crime victims accurate information about their rights in a civil law setting. So I just want to reiterate that it's not criminal information, it's civil legal advice. Oh, I should stop myself. It's not legal advice. It's for, it's just information for victims in a civil legal setting. If you do need information on criminal court, we link out to the court system right here. So we have the main buckets on different issues. So if we go into a bucket, let's say victim rights, we go through and we define what the different types of crimes are, your rights as a crime victim. Again, if you see anything that's clickable, it links out to more information. So the victim rights guide here will link out to the OVS resource. And it just goes through and explains the rights of your crime victim. And I also want to note on every section within the Know Your Rights section, we have a taskbar on the right-hand side. It has, again, the criminal court basics, and then we link out to hotline numbers, so the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, Adult Protective Services, the New York State Hotline, call and text that number, and the National Human Trafficking Hotline, as well as the LGBT National Hotline. So those are on each section within the Know Your Rights section. We do have Find Legal Help Near You. This just links to our legal help directory, which I already went over. Find a crime victim advocate near you. This links out to the OVS resource. I think it's maybe on a bigger level, can link to an advocate in a specific geographic area. And then the DocuSafe links to the DocuSafe app, more information on that for a crime victim with storing evidence. So let's go back out to the main page. Again, we have information on victim rights, family law, immigration, financial, housing, employment. And this, again, Remla said earlier that it's not static. We're always adding more information. So we recently added this bucket here with LGBTQ rights and hate crimes. Goes through, explains the rights. Again, we link out to different resources, more hotline numbers, and you can see at the bottom of the page that we just recently updated the information. And you can go through the different tabs on the left-hand side. Yes, I think maybe one more bucket, maybe let's go to safety issues. So if you need to help create a safety plan with a victim, we have information on that. Again, more information on the DocuSafe app, information on orders of protection. Again, pretty self-explanatory. And that is the Know Your Rights section. Again, there's a lot of information within each bucket. And then the next section is the Victim Compensation Guide. So the guide was created as an overview of the application process. The guide offers tips and reminders when you go through the claim application period. So if we go into preparing a file claim, it explains who is eligible. And again, we go through the application process very detailed within the guide. Resources to help you file a claim. We link out to other victim assistance programs. The OVS training series. So these are videos that go into detail of the application process. And at the bottom here, this is a number, it's an OVS number. So we don't have a hotline specifically, but this is an OVS number. If you call, they could help with the application process. Again, this is very detailed. So we have the 3 buckets. So the first one was preparing to file a claim, filing a claim. So we go through each page that a victim could come across, and we list the information that they'll need. I mean, it's very detailed. Whoops, that one's maybe. And then I also want to know, so we've been teasing recently that we are coming out with an app called the Victim Compensation Claim Navigator. So the app we created to assist crime victims determine if they are eligible for victim compensation, because that is the #1 thing that victims do wrong when they apply for compensation. They apply for the wrong, what am I trying to say? There's 3 different
Claims, the wrong claim.
That's the word, sorry. 3 different claims, and they apply for the wrong claim. So the app was created to assist crime victims determine if they are eligible and what type of claim they can apply for. So by answering a few questions, users could receive personalized information about their eligibility and the type of claim they can apply for. And this can be accessed right here through the guide. So we hope to be releasing that very soon. So that is the victim compensation guide. Again, I'm going through this very quickly. So if you have questions at the end, please feel free. Our next section is the find legal forms. So we pretty much have forms that we link out to free programs or fillable forms. If you need forms to do with custody, modification, paternity petition program, we link out to other resources that can provide you with these forms. Again, family law, housing forms, anything to do with foreclosure and eviction, how to write a debt verification letter, all the information is here. That is the main sections in the taskbar. So our next section is our advocate gateway. The advocate gateway, so I guess I'll just click on it. I am signed in, but if you are not a member, I encourage you to do so, and you can click become a member. So the advocate gateway is designed for attorneys and advocates as a community to share resources. We have a listserv, a library. Let's just go to our library really quickly. Again, broken down by the different sections. So if we go into family law, we have memos, any information, and it's shared within the community. So the CVLN team does upload a lot of the content, but we encourage all community members to do so as well and share resources. And we do upload all of our trainings and webinars as well. So it's a nice avenue to advocate all of our trainings. We have job postings, events, and we try to keep it as updated as possible as well. I think I hit on everything very quickly. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please feel free.
Thanks, Jackie. I really appreciate that. Jackie, just as she said, she did a really quick job going over some of the features of the site. And I just want to mention, when you go, I really encourage you to go to the Legal Help Directory and play around with it and see whether your organization shows up in the county that you are doing services with, or if it's showing up in a place where you don't. So if you do, for example, you're helping with orders protection and you're helping in the Dutchess County or whatever, and your organization doesn't show up there, contact us. we didn't create the legal help directory. We sourced the content from Law Help New York's directory. And Jackie, I don't know, can you show them the try this first? I don't know if you did that, but organizations that have received OVS funding have that try this first logo. And we hate that name, the try this first. We're trying to figure out another terminology that we can use, but we want to make it as user-friendly as possible. And a victim of crime who's seeing the site it wouldn't mean anything to them if we said funded by OVS. So we're trying to figure out the best terminology for them to use. But if there's a try this first, it means the organization is funded by OVS and they received an Attorney Services Grant Award. That's a June 2018 grant award that says, I've got an attorney at this organization that is dedicated to helping in this county with this legal matter. So Legal Assistance of Western New York with Cattaraugus Community Action has an Attorney Services Grant Award to help out in Allegheny County with visitation matters. So play around with it and see, is your organization listed where it's supposed to be? And if it isn't, please contact me and I can link you up with Ari, because there might be a problem on Law Help New York's directory, or it could be a problem with just the information we collected. Everyone who has that try this first little tag should have received a specialized form from our organization, and we've worked with you to get the correct information. Jackie, can you click on the learn more part? You already did. The same thing with this. Jackie showed you the section of the site. This section we didn't necessarily create. We got it again from the organizations. If you don't like what's there, if the phone number is wrong, if any information is incorrect, please contact us. I want to point out, Jackie pointed out this map feature. We're in the process of doing, we're always changing and doing something better based on feedback that we get. We recently did focus groups and said it would really be helpful if we could click on the map and get directions. So we're in the process of trying to see if we could make that possible. So instead of a static map, like directional from my house to there, how long does it take and how to get there? Want to point it out too, domestic violence shelters are not listed on the map. Just wanted to make sure that's clear. The Know Your Rights section that Jackie went through, most of the sections there were professionally translated, if you will, into plain language. Even the sections that are not professionally translated, we are trying to make it plain language as possible. It's always tough. I think the immigration section is, even though it's professionally translated into plain language, it's still much a higher grade level than we really want it to be. But we're trying to make it as friendly and user-friendly to crime victims as possible. Oh, and Jackie showed you the guide, and it's a lot of information. And I wanted to just say, one of the reasons why we created the guide was, again, feedback from service providers, as well as OVS themselves. OVS created that online application. I wish I could see you all and ask you to raise your hands if you applied for victim compensation through their online application. They created that portal, and they're saying that anyone can use it, whether or not you're a trained advocate or if you're a victim of crime. You don't necessarily need a trained professional to apply for victim compensation. When we did a focus group with trained professionals, they said it's really complicated. I don't see a victim doing this by themselves. But we are trying as much as possible to make it possible for victims to apply for it by themselves. Or if you have a not as seasoned or an advocate who's kind of new to applying for it, we provided this guide to help them with that information. So we did huge focus groups. We found out what information was needed, what information was required, and this guide is pretty exhaustive. And I think OVS is really looking forward to us having that app back on our site. We tested for a little bit and we pulled it because we wanted to make it prettier. And when we made it prettier, we wanted to add more things to it. So it's coming soon, it's coming. But it's so easy to use, just a few questions, and I'll tell you if you're eligible for victim compensation, what sort of claim you can apply for. and what you could expect when you apply for that claim. Like if you could get your EPP, your essential personal property, if you could get counseling fees, if you could get transportation, that sort of information. So look for that, look for that. And I'm repeating some of the things that Jackie already said. She talked about the legal forms. I want to let you know what's coming up soon is we're including legal forms that has to deal with elder law. That is something that's going to be coming up shortly. We're working with our tech team to pull that up. And also on the Advocate Gateway, Jackie mentioned the trainings and the webinars. We host about 6 webinars or trainings a year. So those are the ones that are featured on the site. But frankly, we will post anything that any one of our partner organizations does if you're willing to share. So if you're OVS funded, we kind of consider you our partners. And even if you're not OVS funded, excuse me, if you're part of NISCATIV, we would consider you partners or members. So please become a member. Please share information and resources. You would just, Jackie, do you want to just go into the library section, please? Or the events, it doesn't matter what section. And then there's add a resource on the top there. With the plus, you would do that. You just add a resource. It would get sent to someone on our tech team, and they would contact me and we'd review it to make sure what the resource is, if it's appropriate, and contact the person who actually created it, and then we'd put it on the website. So anyone could add an event or job posting or a resource. I want to then point out just a couple of other things. Jack, you want to show them the live help function? So we don't have a 24-hour hotline. We don't have, we don't have someone you can call, but we have live health. So that little icon on the bottom lower, yeah, that one, it was supposed to be yellow. They changed the colors again. It was supposed to be this bright pop in yellow so that everyone could pay attention to it. It's one of those bubbles that everyone knows about nowadays. If you're doing even online shopping, do you need to talk to someone right now? It's usually available 9 to 5. It is staffed by attorneys and law students who are trained on our website as well as Law Help New York's website. And I think there's one other website and the court's website that they're trained in. And they are not able to provide legal advice. They're able to help you find information on a site. So whether it's on our site or a different website, if someone's looking on the site and can't find something, they could use live help and say, someone broke into my house. I don't know how to get this back. I don't know how to, the police are not doing anything. Where can I find information? And whoever is responding to it can provide them with information to where they could go on our site or another site to get that information they needed. Again, not legal advice, just kind of directing them to the right referral and information. Another thing I want to show you is the site map. Jackie, do you mind going to the bottom? The site map, I helped create the content of the website. So I kind of know, okay, offender accountability is going to be in the safety section. Not everyone knows that. The site map is something you can use to help you find out if there's information on the site and where it's located. You could also use the search function. We are, again, one of the things we want to do is improve the result page of the search and make it more useful for people. But those are the two areas that you could go to look for things on this website. And then I want to show you the Contact Us page. It is on the bottom of the homepage, I believe, or yeah, there it is. You could find it right there. So if you don't remember my last name or how to reach me, use the Contact Us page, it comes straight to me. So notice we only have first name only, email address, subject, and we limit the message to 1,000 characters. I'll tell you why. We're really concerned about victims sharing too much information. Before we did that, before we really limited the character space and really encouraged only the first names, I was receiving personal information, docket numbers, last names. I received someone's social security number because they're assuming that the person receiving it can help them. And we really wanted to encourage the fact that this is no attorney-client relationship can be formed. We're here just to help. And I don't mean to be mean by saying let's limit the character, but the shorter space means there's less likely they're going to share that confidential information. So, but I do receive contact from victims of crime, victims of sexual assault, victims of domestic violence, looking for help. And so I respond to them as soon as I can. But I also get information from this contact outfit from providers who have questions as well or want to know how do I get listed on this directory or that directory, and I'm able to at least direct them to the right resources. The last thing I think I want to show right now is the language. So we have on the text size, so that big A, little a, middle A, that Goldilocks and the Three Bears size. Someone like me who needs reading glasses really likes that big A, but we also have the translate feature that we are using basically machine translation, and we have the disclaimer about that. We are investing in, and we're hoping to do that very, very soon, is getting our victim compensation guide non-machine translated, like professionally translated into the top 5 languages that are used. We're trying to see, and I don't know if it's possible, if we could do the same thing for that app. But we know the limitations of machine translation, and it does help to have plain language on our site that will increase that accuracy of the machine translation, but there's limitations. So we're doing the best we can to try to accommodate everyone. I don't know if, are there any questions at this point? Oh, the exit, thank you, Jackie. We do have that, that's standard practice. We, if you exit, you press the exit button, it kicks you off the site into a Google, a regular Google page. I know there is not a problem. I think a lot of organizations, including ours, when you hit the back arrow button, it still takes you back to this site. We're seeing if we can do anything about that so that it will help victims even be safer. But we are working with the tech team on that. That's what I mean. We're constantly improving. We're constantly getting feedback. And I really, if any of you have taken part in our focus groups or our surveys, thank you so much, because I know we don't get the opportunity to reimburse you for your time, and we really appreciate the feedback that we get to help improve our site. Chell, I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah, we have one question from somebody in the chat. If there are trainings or webinars on the relatively new address confidentiality program, or even maybe information about completing those sorts of applications?
We don't have, I don't think, a training on the address confidentiality program, but we have information on our site about it. And I think the address confidentiality, has it changed recently? It's been around for a while. I just think it's been underutilized. It's in the safety section. Jackie, if you want, you could go there, and it's in the safety section, and we've got, yep, address confidentiality. There you go. Yeah, I hope that helps you. Other questions?
Thank you. I don't see any in the chat right now, but folks, if questions do come up as we're looking through resources, please feel free to pop those into the chat. I actually was wondering, I see COVID-19 resources at the top. What kinds of resources are there?
Here, Jackie's going to show you some of them. Here's some general information. And again, we're trying to update it, but sometimes it's been tough. If you scroll down, Jackie, just a little bit, it shows you some of the updates on different sections. So just today, I was trying to update the housing section regarding evictions, the eviction moratorium. Because now about the hardship waiver, they've extended that in New York State. So I tried to update that section on our site. So it's it's myself, 2 regional coordinators, and Jackie are the team. Updating the information can be challenging just because there's a lot going on, but we're doing our best. So Jackie, if you even go to the housing bucket, I think, so in the housing bucket, the first tab is the COVID updated information. So we try to do that. We've got some information in the money bucket, I think in the and some other buckets. And I think some of the information is old and needs to be updated. But that's why we started having that updated by at the bottom of each page to try to see that happening. It's not even that the updating is difficult. It's that we're attorneys and we want to put information there in attorney language. And so and I've got my regional attorney coordinators, Amy Bogardus and Laura Dwyer, are awesome, but we don't speak plain language. So they do this research, do all this, and I end up just, making it simpler, making it simple, making it basic. We are, some of the information that's already on this forward-facing part of the site, we have it more sophisticated version with the law and everything in the advocate gateway sections of the site. So that might be helpful to advocates and for attorneys.
Great, thank you. There is a question. If there is a specific section with information about the rights of minors within different topics, or is the best way to find information for supporting minors through maybe the search bar?
Yeah, please don't hate us. The site was designed for people 18 and older. That was done deliberately. So it was started again someone's brainchild back in 2015, and it was meant to be for adult victims of crime. And when we did our needs assessment, it was easier to do it for adult victims of crime because we could do the needs assessment without having IRB review. Because if you do anything with children, that takes review board review. However, that doesn't mean that we cannot make the site, expand the site for the children who are victims of crime. And I know this year in the last month, maybe the last 6 weeks is when we included information on our site about LGBTQ crimes. And we also included information on our site about alternative dispute resolution and mediation. We are hoping for next year, including information on our site that is relevant to victims of sexual crimes on college campuses. So we have an advisory council. And so a couple of years ago, they had identified that as basically being something that's important for us to do. So our researchers next year, starting the grant year is October 1st, has a plan in place so that we could do some outreach and survey to see what information should we include on the site relevant to victims of crime on the college campus. And I assume it's going to be mostly sexual assault, but it could be other crimes as well. And then we'll figure out what sort of information do they need and how do we put this on the site. I hope that is helpful. I hope that will be helpful to everyone. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thanks for not hating me. I've been working on this project for a long time. Again, it didn't go, we piloted it back in 2018. It went live 2019 in October statewide. I could have gotten the dates wrong, but it was 2018 and then 2019 statewide. Statewide. And I see it, and all I see is its potential and all the things that I want it to be, and what I want our researcher to research and see is what I'm thinking, what we need to do, or I'm wrong, let's do it the way that will be most helpful to people. But so it's really nice to know that other people see it and think it could be really useful.
Wonderful, thank you. I don't see any more questions, folks. If any come up, please feel free to ask. We've got a few more minutes here. Remla and Jackie, are there, what kinds of feedback have you received from advocates and other service providers already on the site? I know you've talked a little bit about kind of like what you've been working on based on some of that feedback, but is there anything else?
Yeah, I think, I'll be really honest, I think people don't know how much information we have on the site until we do something like this. And once they know, their eyes open, think, well, I didn't realize you had this on the site. Same with the Advocate Gateway. Once they actually go to our library section and see, oh, we've got research on some family law cases, or we've got some information in the events section. I think they have some Ms. Casa trainings on that section too. They didn't know that that all that information is there. And when they find out, that's when their eyes are open and say, wow, this is great. We really wanted to make the Advocate Gateway this, we wanted to encourage this community of practice when it comes to crime victimization. And I don't know if I think we're on our way, but we're on the beginning stages of it. So there are, over 100 people who are members of the Advocate Gateway, but not as many people who are actively involved. So I'd love to see more of that. And when we did our focus groups in the summer, that was one of the feedback that we got. Not enough people knew about the Advocate Gateway or understood what the benefit is for them. And they don't realize that it's not just me and my team putting information on this. It's yours. You could add information. You could share resources with each other. And I want us to be generous with each other that way and not be territorial. So that's, I think, some of the feedback that we received. Jackie, is there anything else that you could think of?
I think we covered all of the main points. Yeah, just the contact us is at the very bottom of the page. Did do that. And then our blog. So we have bi-monthly newsletters that we send out, and we feature usually like 2 blog posts, and they are linked right here. So also, if you don't get our newsletters, you could drop your email in the chat and I will add you to the mailing list.
The newsletters, Jackie is in charge of the newsletters. They come out every other month. The next newsletter is coming out at the end of September, and they're not that long, and it's an e-newsletter, and it has just basic information. When's their next training? Is there a new law that you missed or you didn't, in case you missed it, section, and meet the team. And there's always jokes. Or something funny, something light. But the blogs are something that I hope that I hope you do get the newsletter. You're going to really enjoy one of the blog posts for September. Jack and I just recently read it. It is going to be from Charlotte Watson, who is very well known in the crime victim, human trafficking, DV, sexual assault field. And it's going to be very, very powerful. So yes, every other month, join. Thank you. We will be happy to include you on our mailing list. And Jackie, I think, sent our TCA our flyer and just a 4-slide PowerPoint with our contact information. If you have an opportunity, please print out the flyer and post it someplace. If you are so inclined, email Jackie. She'll send you some colored flyers and some palm cards. We have small palm cards. Leave it places so that people can see. What we're realizing is we've created this site for victims of crime, and not enough victims of crime aren't getting to it. So a lot of people have used our site. I think I could be wrong, Jackie, I think last year was over 6,000. So in 1 year. And we have a small percentage of repeat people, which I believe are service providers. We could expand that. Follow us on social media. Jackie has included that information in our PowerPoint. And just let people know that we're here, because it also showcases your work as well.
Great. Remla and Jackie, thank you so much for joining us. I just put in the chat, we'll be sending out the recording link from this session, most likely next week, along with the flyer and PowerPoint and additional resources. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon.